Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, part 3. What we're going to do here today is we're going to actually interview one of our center managers at our language training center. We're going to get her opinions about her interactions with foreign teachers, also her interactions with teachers in general. She's going to give us some advice on what her expectations are. Also, because she's center manager, she often works with parents quite often. So she's the one, after class talking to parents in the chat rooms, the WeChat groups, and getting feedback from parents. She's also getting feedback from students as well. So she's very involved. By the way, her name is Moon, and she is here in Shanghai, but she originally comes from the Inner Mongolia region of China. And so she has several perspectives, but I think, after speaking with her earlier, many of her perspectives on teaching and learning, I think, are shared throughout China. So I think she's obviously been raised here. And so I think her position on education is reflective of how people generally go about thinking about approaching education here in China. So we have a few questions I want to ask her, and I just gave these questions to her, so she has not prepared anything in advance, but we want you all to trust us and believe us. So we have not prepared anything in advance, but I just asked her to answer each question truthfully. Okay, so the first question, she is the center manager. You are the center manager at our language center. Tell us about your role in the company, just your job and what you do every day.
Every day, cleaning house. Thank you. It's communicating with parents and teachers and the students. To know their problem or their needs.
Okay. What can you tell us a little bit about the problems and the needs of the students?
The problem. The problem was. I don't know. Next question.
Okay.
Think about it.
Think about it. Okay, no worries. What do foreign teachers or expat teachers need to know to be a good teacher in China?
Good question. I think the first they need to know the Chinese culture first. Because in Chinese education, the parents really care about their score. Not like Western culture. They care about just a happy education or free talk or something. But in China, it cannot. They have to get a higher score and to get into the good quality school. Because in China, the parents have a lot of stress. Okay. Also, I think the mostly stress is from the kids education.
Kids education. All right. So a lot of pressure for students to succeed, to get into those schools, because it's a big population, and spots to enter good schools are limited, right? There are not so many. I understand that. So you think if the foreign teachers, they should communicate well with the parents, and give feedback about their students' performance.
They care about the feedback of their improvement about the English. Like speaking or writing. They like to hear that. Oh, my kids are improving. Their writing is better now. They don't want to hear, they're getting worse or something.
Right.
They just want to hear the good.
They want to hear the good things. Right? I guess so. Then you have to track progress. The student let the parents know about the student progress. Okay. All right. Good. Thank you. I think that's very useful for a lot of. If you're thinking about coming to China, one of the things you have to do is you have to be aware that this is a very test results-driven society where results are key. You don't necessarily have to always focus on test scores here, but you do have to focus on feedback and results. So if you're not focused on test prep stuff, say you're teaching a class and the purpose of the class is STEM, say STEM research, or you focus on using technology, that's fine. But the key thing is giving that feedback to the parents. How are their children making progress in your course? What can they learn from you? What can the parents expect next in terms of their development? So it is a case that parents do want to hear positive things, but they also want the truth as well. If their child isn't doing well, they want to know that, but they also want to know, how can you as a teacher help their child to reach the next level given their current circumstance? Okay, thank you, Mundi. The next question I want to ask you, what do the best teachers do in the classroom? I mean, you've observed.
Yeah, first have to get the students' curiosity and make them happy. Also have to get the trust of the students. Also, the teachers, good teacher have to the high knowledge, good.
Yeah. All right. So they need to be very professional, right?
Professional.
Okay.
To be professional.
I like what you mentioned about making the students happy.
Yeah.
Motivation.
Motivation. If the students don't like the teacher or the class, they don't want to come. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So it's kind of like, as a teacher, you're kind of in the middle. You need to make the students happy on one hand. Then on the other hand, the parents want to see results. So it's a balance. There's a balance, right, between having a lesson that's fun and exciting, and also a lesson that gets results. And this is would you say?
Because like this training center and the real school is different, right? Because in real school, you don't have to be curiosity so interesting, but they need to. They have to go to school. But the the training center, you can choose. If I don't like, I can choose another one. But for school, they cannot choose.
I mean, I agree. I think definitely with the public schools, that's definitely true. Like, they have to go to public school. Public schools teachers tend to be strict in the public schools, but not in international schools. International teachers can be, if your lesson is not interesting, the students will complain. You might lose your job, but you'll be observed and you'll be given lots of feedback, and there's a certain expectation in international schools that teachers are going to be motivating students to learn. The lesson's going to be fun, but also getting results. That's still there even in international schools. But yeah, I think I agree. I think happy is the key to keep the students happy, make the lesson interesting. Moon is definitely correct.
Also, have to be teacher has to be very confident in the class. The student is very smart. You are not confident, they can.
You can feel it.
Yeah, they can feel it.
All right, just like like kind of like lions in the jungle. Watching the prey, but no, you have to be confident, and always carry yourself appropriately as a teacher. Again, in China, teaching is very well respected. A teacher is supposed to carry him or herself with respect and dignity and high confidence at all times, especially in the classroom. Okay, final question, Daemoon. So I've asked you quite a few. What are some challenges that you've had when interacting with expat teachers?
Just tell the truth?
Yeah, just tell the truth.
Yeah, about the culture, communicating. Sometimes expat teacher ask me some question. I don't know how to respond, reply, because the culture is different. Sometimes I will directly just yes or no, but they cannot. So it is my problem, but I don't know others' problem.
Maybe others. Okay, all right. Okay, no problems. So culture differences. This is a key thing to those watching here. The cultures are quite different when communicating. Let me see if I can think of some specific examples because I think the people watching this, they probably want to, what are those cultural differences? Because they don't want to have, when they come over, they want to be professional teachers and they want to avoid some of those problems. So we can tell them ahead of time. I think with in Chinese culture, for example, when they're asking you to come in to do a lesson, I think they want a direct answer. If you can do it, say you can do it. If you can't do it, say you can't do it, right? No, like, there's no like, okay, I'll see, or let me think about it, or let me get back, normally back home there might be some hedging in terms of, when you reject someone. You reject someone, you might hedge a little bit, maybe I'll consider, or, maybe I'll do that when I have time, or let me see how it goes. In Chinese culture, oftentimes they'll ask you for something, they want a direct answer, yes, you can do it, or no, you can't do it. So that's one culture difference, I think that might be there. And of course, not all, but again, we're not speaking to all people. There are people, there are outliers, right? There are people who might have a different understanding of culture, but we're talking about most of the time. We have seen this culture difference. Do you know any other like specific situations where the culture has been different and that affected the work or something? How about coming on time to work? Maybe you want to say something about that, coming on time. Coming on time to work. So.
Yeah, coming on time. But the teachers who can always come on time. But some is just. But it's also everyone has a different personality. It's not about the Western or Chinese. Yeah.
Okay. Any other things you want to tell the world? To prepare to come up, what they need to do to be successful. Like, what do they need? People watching this, they're like, wow, they're interested, they're passionate about coming to China, they want to teach in China, they want to be successful. So, what should they do? To prepare.
I have to take more responsibility, honest.
Okay.
The responsibility is important. Yeah.
Responsibility is important. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything they can do before they come to China to prepare?
Before?
Yeah, before say someone right now is overseas. They want to come to China to teach. They're like, I want to prepare to be a good teacher. Is there anything? When you mentioned culture, is there anything that they can learn before they come over?
Yeah, before they come over, they can. Know about the food, Chinese food or something in class. They can start with warm up with the Chinese food or jazz or like this. Like places, can go very beautiful places. Yeah.
To do some research on beautiful places.
For example, like in Shanghai, we can talk about White Tan Band, right?
Yeah.
Nanjing East Road.
Nanjing East Road. Okay, yeah, exactly. These are some famous places where you can go. Again, doing research on these things makes it easier to have conversations with people when they come over. So when you come over, it's easier to have conversations with your colleagues. And we all like to go out here sometimes. Like we all go out sometimes, and and that's a big part of Chinese culture. You have to going out with people after work. That's a big thing. Not every day, but once in a while. Every once a month, right? We might go out for KTV or something. Again, also you have to be comfortable. A lot of expats are not comfortable singing in front of other people, but in China, people sing in front of other people quite often, and you have to be comfortable with that. It's just the culture, right?
Yeah.
It's the culture here. So that's one of the things I think. If you do have like KTV or something, or there's some songs you want to sing, you can do that. That's how I learned Chinese actually, through learning Chinese songs at home, and then I would go to KTV and practice, and I would get feedback from my colleagues in terms of pronunciation, and that just helps you. Again, when you speak Chinese or making an effort to speak Chinese, it makes it easier to connect with the people here. So that's one of the things that we found that's very useful for foreigners before they come over. Yeah. And again, people like Moon, they're very interested in Western culture. Moon is very often learning English. So one of the things you can set up is like an exchange practice. Moon, of course, speaks 3 languages, right? You speak Mongolian, Chinese, and then English, and a whole bunch of other languages. So the the good thing is when you come over, someone like Moon wants to learn English, you could do like a language exchange with someone like Moon, and like you can practice, your Chinese, and she can teach you, or Mongolian if you want to learn Mongolian, and she can teach you. You can teach her English, So that's something you could do with colleagues, and people are usually very willing to do that. I think that also can build a very strong relationship with your teaching team if you do stuff like that. Okay, and Chinese people like to give gifts too, right? Sometimes. Yeah. Giving gifts is very important for connecting. But again, that's more like personal stuff and less with the teaching. But the advantage, of course, of having those close relationships with your staff is that if they do have feedback to give you, oftentimes Chinese, sometimes they may feel a little bit embarrassed to give you feedback, especially negative feedback directly. But if you go out, if you hang out with your teaching team sometimes, when they're comfortable, they might tell you something. Oh, I got this feedback from this parent, or I think you should improve this. It makes it easier for them to give feedback to you if you have that relationship already established. Would you agree with that? Yeah. So this is just some of our observations here and things that we think that you can do to improve before you come over, and just a heads up on what's to come when you come here. Yeah. Is that anything else that you would like to add? Next time, yeah. Or we'll be posting more videos like this in the future. And today I want to say thank you, Moon. She did not have any time to prepare for this whatsoever, but she did an amazing job. It's really just showing the level right now in China that people are very motivated. People are learning languages. When you come over, you can have a conversation. Don't be worried. Some people might be worried, well, if I come over to China, I can't talk to anybody because I don't speak Chinese, but so many people here speak English, right? So many people speak English. So it's very easy. It will be easy for you to communicate with people and to have those conversations, even deeper conversations. Like me and Moon, sometimes we talk about all kinds of stuff, life, environment. It's always very interesting conversations happening. So yeah, we welcome you to China. There'll be some links down below also later in the course on how you can get certified. Also some links for some language practice as well. It's good. So in addition to the teaching certification, get your language certification. There's HSK, the Hanyu Shuiping Kaoshi, or the Chinese language exam. You can take that and you can improve your Chinese language skills as well while you get your teaching credential. And that'll make it even easier to communicate with people when you come over. All right, everyone, so like the video, comment down below what you'd like to see next, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.